Hey everybody! This is my review of the 2015 Kansas State football season. So here it goes. Kansas State went 6-7 this year with a 3-6 conference record. This is K-State's first losing season since 2008. So that's not good. The most impressive win for K-State this year was against Iowa State. Iowa State at one point was leading K-State by 21, and K-State came back and won by 3. So that's the most impressive win for K-State this year, in my opinion, was against Iowa State. The most disappointing loss was against Oklahoma. Oklahoma destroyed K-State. They blanked us and won by a lot. So in my opinion, the most disappointing loss this year was to Oklahoma. The offense was average. They weren't great and they weren't totally horrible. They had some great. They were great at some points and they were bad at some points. But overall, the offense was average. The passing was okay. They completed 162 passes out of 345 throws, with a completion percentage of 47%, with a 6.63 yards completion, with 2,000. And they had 2,288 passing yards and 14 passing touchdowns. So the passing was okay. A good portion of the incompletions were easily catchable balls that were dropped. So a good portion of that was dropped passes, dropped balls. So overall, the passing was okay. The rushing was okay as well. We had 531 carries with 2,050 yards, with 3.9 yards a rush average, and 29 rushing touchdowns. So the rushing wasn't really great, but average. I don't think we had many explosive runs, so I'm not sure how many we had, but I don't think we had many. So the rushing was average. The turnovers, we had 19 turnovers, 6 fumbles, and 13 interceptions. So that turnovers wasn't too terribly bad, but kind of bad. So overall, the offense was average. So I give this offense a C minus. The defense was pretty above average in my opinion. They weren't the best defense, but they were like the middle of the pack defense. The defense was just above average, like I said. We had 800. Defense had 817 tackles, 38 sacks, which kind of low in my opinion. Our two best defensive players got hurt in the first 2 games of the year. Dante Barnett and Denzel McDaniel. They got hurt in the first 2 weeks of the year, and they were out for the rest of the year, so they were missed. But I think the backups did pretty well filling in for them. So the defense was pretty above average, middle of the pack defense. They did pretty good, getting stops a good portion of the time, but a lot of times, sometimes they gave up some big plays when they shouldn't have. But overall, they got good stops a good portion of the time, and so the turnover, the takeaways they got They had 16 takeaways. They had 16 takeaways. Uh, they recovered 11 fumbles and had 5 interceptions. So that's kind of low in my opinion. In my opinion, that's kind of too low. The takeaways is kind of low, so that needs to be improved. So overall, the defense, uh, the defense was above average in my opinion. Gave up some big plays here and there, and got some good stops here and there. And so overall, the defense was pretty above average in my opinion. So I'm giving the defense a B minus. The special teams is where we excelled this year at. We had for extra points, we were 100%, 44 out of 44. Field goals, we just missed 2, 19 out of 21 on field goals. Uh, we blocked 4 kicks. That's good. We had 50 kick returns for 1,260 yards and 4 touchdowns. And we had 24 punt returns for 161 or 167 yards for 1 touchdown. So the special teams is where we excelled at this year. It was the best unit this year, in my opinion, for K-State. So the special teams was pretty good. They excelled it. They were the best unit on the field for us. So I'm giving the special teams an A+. The coaching was average. It wasn't really great this year. A lot of the play calling wasn't very good. I have to say, the coaching has to improve. It really have to improve. The coaching does. If the coaching doesn't improve, coaching changes has to be made. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. If the coaching doesn't improve, coaching changes has to be made. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So overall, the coaching was average to below average for a good portion of the year. So I'm giving the coaching a C. So overall, I'm giving this year's team, an overall grade of C. So it wasn't our best group. This wasn't the best year for us this year. So overall, I'm giving the team a C. So my offensive MVP is Cody Cook. He played at wide receiver and at quarterback. He played at both positions all year. After our first, third, and fourth string quarterbacks got hurt for the year or got an illness and couldn't play for the year, he stepped up when our second string quarterback got hurt. So he was our go-to player for the year. So my offensive MVP is Cody Cook. My defensive MVP for the year is Elijah Lee. He was the best defensive player this year. He was just an overall good defensive player for us this year. So my defensive MVP is Elijah Lee. And my special teams MVP this year is Morgan Burns. He was a fantastic kickoff returner. He had all 4 kickoff return touchdowns. So he was an amazing returner this year. So he gets my special teams MVP. So Morgan Burns gets that honor. So overall, this year was an average year, not a great year. A lot of things need to be improved, including especially the coaching. So overall, an average year for K-State, not the greatest. In our first losing season since 2008. So that's it for me. So see you guys later. Go State and Emon.